So what we've done is we've taken the basic data from Google Forms, and we've done some basic processing with this, but we're not done yet. There's actually a lot more we've got to do with this data before it's ready to go into SPSS. So what we're going to do is do that. Now, the first set of questions here, participant ID, sex, age, marital status, these independent variables, they are done. That's all sorted. But what we have to deal with is calculating scores now from the data in the table. So, for example, here, all the questions in this section, all of this relates to the total optimism of the participant. So, sorry, not that part there, let's put a little wall there to get away. So, these are questions about the optimism of the participant. So, we see here that the question is, in certain times, I expect the best. Now, if the participant put 1, they strongly disagree. So when things are uncertain, they don't think the best at all. If they're at 5, they're a very positive person and think the best, very optimistic. But then we've got number 2. If something is wrong for me, it will. So if you say 1, it's reversed. So saying 1, you strongly disagree, you don't think things will go wrong, so you're optimistic. And if you say 5, then you are very pessimistic and you think things will go wrong. So we've got 2 different ways here. Now you can get around this by having your survey structured so that 5 is always the highest score, always positive, but that's not very good because then you get people also trading around and giving false positive answers. The best way is to mix these things up. So what we need to do is create another version of this table, and I'm going to call this, right-click, rename, SPSS ready 2, okay, because it's more advanced. Now the first part, I'm just going to go equals, oops, a mistake there, equals SPSS ready, participant ID, okay, and just bring this down. Right. And let's take this right along here as well. And I'm going to stop there. Okay, so the question before the optimism area is, do you smoke? I'm just going to make this area a bit brighter. So I'm going to make this clear. So that's in yellow, so we see what we're dealing with now. Okay, so the question there. So what we're trying to calculate is one number, not how many, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 6 questions, but 1. I'm going to call this, my guidebook here to help, I'm going to call this total positive. I think it's right because I'm trying to work along with. So total positive effect. And I'm going to call, sorry, total optimism. And I'm going to go total optimism. Okay. How do I get there? I need to actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I need to reverse some of these. So I'm going to put OP1, OP2, OP3, OP4, OP5, and OP6. Right. Bear with me, it doesn't make sense. So, these just been relegated down to just optimum questions. So, we've got to reverse numbers 2. Let's put this in numbers 2, numbers 4, and numbers 6. Okay. So we know that opinions 1 3, and 5 are just the straight numbers. So I can just go ahead, so equals that number. Okay. If I copy this, copy there, you see it carries along. So this is K, goes to K3, which is third one. So that's fine. So what do we do with these reversed ones? We need to use more if statements. So equals if that equals 1, 5. Reversed. If that equals 2, 4. If that equals 3, 3, middle number. If that equals 4, 2. If that equals 5, 1. Actually, we can get rid of that last part, just put 1 because nothing else left. Just so you know, it's always good to have scales either on 1 to 3, 1 to 5 or 1 to 9. Generally 1 to 5 and 1 to 9 are most common. 1 to 5 is very good. 1 to 9 can be a bit too many questions for most people. If you're talking about specialists in an area, 1 to 9 is very good because they really can differentiate between the areas. 1 to 5 is common, and 1 to 3 is for kids. And you always use those 3, 5, and 9 because they have nice centres. 3 is the middle number of between 1 to 5, and 5 is the middle number between 1 and 9. Anyhow, I forgot to close off the brackets. There's a mistake there, put a plus sign instead. Very bad. Okay, and there we have it. So we've actually reversed that. Now, if I double click there and have a look there, you can see it should be the J's all the way through. And here we have the J's all the way through. If I copy this and paste it there, we have the L's all the way through, which is number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, the L's. Do it again, should be the N's. So take that, copy, paste, and we've got the N's. So that is great. So we need to take this and we need to add up all these together. So sum, open brackets, add those together. Total optimism number 24. So let's just take this lot and bring this over here for smoking, and take this lot and bring this right down for that. So actually now we're calculating everything. But now it gets a little bit more tricky. Well, not tricky, it's another layer. So we add another one here. So SPSS ready 3. Okay, equals, go to second chart, optimism ID. And for this, we can go all the way over. We don't want those OP statements though. Okay, we've got all the way to smoking, then we say equals, and we go straight to total. We've skipped out all those OPs. Bring this, and we can pull this down, actually pull the data in right to the very bottom. Okay, and I click save. So we're almost done, but not quite. Let's go and do one more example, shall we? So here we have positive and negative effects. Right. I've actually got it written down here to actually help me with this because it's not my scale. I'm going to rename them here. So PN1, PN2, PN3, PN4, PN5, PN6, PN7, PN8, PN9, PN10, halfway. We should just take this and actually pull it over. There we go, 20 questions. So, in this case, what we're doing is we don't need to reverse anything. We just need to add things up in the right way. So skip on to our third chart here, and we go total positive effect, and go on to the second one, total negative effect. Right, so we've got two areas ready to go there. Now I could do something in here, but I don't need this middle bit of process at all. Yeah, it's fine. So total negative effect, I've got, okay, to the positive, I've got to add a whole load of things together, so equals numbers 1 plus 4 plus 6 and 7 plus 6 plus 7 9, 12 plus 9 plus 12 plus 13 plus 15 plus 17 plus 18. Okay, so we've now created a score. Now, why do we choose those ones? It's because, let's take numbers 1, 4 and 6, for example. On the questionnaire we asked the students, numbers 1 was indicating in the last few weeks how strongly or how often they felt a certain way. So number 1 was interested, number 4 was proud, number 6 was determined. So these are very positive, good words. And if I double click here, you can see them all there, and it's just working great. So we need to do the same for the negative and like to go. So let's go and finish off the last ones, which are the negative items. So equals, back onto here, numbers 2. So 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 8 plus 10 plus 11 plus 14 plus 16 plus 9, 19 even, and then finally plus 20. Okay. So we've got 2 scores for there. So I'll take these and I will pull this down. So let's have a look. So right now what I've got in this table is I've gone through various stages from just a copy of I have the master data, copied it, basic, put it in numerical format, and then a bit of processing on the way. Now, not everyone does it this way. Some people do it different ways. I like using the tabbed approach in Excel, so you're working from a very unorganized area to an organized. So this is the data that's now exactly ready to go into SPSS. It's fully processed. I've got rid of all the ambiguities because I don't need all this stuff here. I just need these scores. So that is intermediate data processing for SPSS.